faithfully conveying value, interpreting great books worldwide. Hello, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today we're discussing Parents Are Children's Best Music Teachers, subtitled A Guide to Children's Music Education. Many expectant mothers enjoy playing prenatal music to their unborn babies during pregnancy. After birth, parents often sing lullabies or play nursery rhymes for their children. As children grow older, many parents consider enrolling them in instrumental lessons. For a long time, China's education system prioritized standardized testing over music education. Actually, Aristotle's holistic education framework placed music at its core centuries ago. German-speaking countries like Germany, Austria, and Switzerland have established comprehensive music schools offering instrument lessons, theory classes, and drama courses for all ages. Meanwhile, the U.S. encourages well-rounded development through music to foster creativity. Thus, every city allocates educational funding for music instruction, highlighting its importance. Fortunately, Chinese schools now increasingly recognize artistic cultivation. For youth's holistic development, early music education has become a significant social trend. Author Zhang Yuhui is a Chinese-American music educator. As International Society for Music Education's Asia envoy, she has 30-plus years in children's music pedagogy. She believes parents, not just professionals, can effectively guide children's musical development. So, how should parents nurture their children's musical journey? This book answers these questions, helping children avoid pitfalls in music learning. I'll distill the book's essence into two key questions. First, how to establish a solid musical foundation for children. Second, how can parents support structured musical learning? Let's begin with the first question. How to establish a solid musical foundation? Many parents fear losing at the starting line, equating music initiation with early notation and instrument training. But the author believes this isn't a scientific approach to music initiation, and music learning isn't always better when started earlier. Maybe some parents would say Mozart played piano at 4, Lang Lang started at 3, why can't my child? Just think, how many such musical prodigies have appeared in human history? Most children learning music should follow their developmental stages. Forcing unnecessary activities too early only disrupts their growth. So scientific music initiation isn't about early formal lessons, but fostering musical interest and ability. Musical interest means making kids love music, whether listening quietly or, wiggling to the beat. Both show passion. So what exactly is musical ability? Actually, a key goal of music initiation is laying groundwork for future formal learning like instruments. And that foundation is musical ability. Musical ability isn't just singing or instruments. It includes sensing beat, volume, tempo, and more. Musical ability is like a house's foundation, invisible but crucial for stability. So how can parents nurture musical interest and ability? Listening to music is the first step. Thus, early exposure boosts the brain's sensitivity to melody and rhythm, forming a music brain over time. For infants, the best music is mom's singing voice. No need for her to be a professional. Moms can hum songs during playtime, walks, bedtime, or diaper changes. That's ideal initiation. Parents can also play music regularly. The author advises avoiding pieces with extreme pitch or rhythm shifts early on. Opt for classical, nursery rhymes, or solo instrumentals. No need for dedicated listening sessions. Integrate it into routines like waking, meals, play, or car rides. When out and about, parents can play suitable music for different situations, like cheerful nursery rhymes in the morning or soothing lullabies before bedtime. Gradually, you'll notice your child humming along without even realizing it. Parents can also make homemade instruments with their kids. For example, turn plastic containers, bowls, or cups upside down to make drums, use chopsticks as drumsticks, or fill empty bottles with rice or beans to create maracas. These sound-making toys really help boost children's musical abilities. possible, taking kids to concerts like choral performances or piano recitals is also great for initiation. But whether the performers are world famous isn't crucial. What matters is exposing kids to more listening and watching. By joining these musical activities, children gain both natural and ritualistic musical nourishment. Their interest in musical expression will naturally blossom. After effective music initiation, parents can guide children into formal music learning by rationally assessing abilities and family circumstances. This brings us to our second key question. How should parents help with formal music learning? The author suggests starting with children's music classes for about 2 years before instrument lessons, easing the transition into formal training. These classes aren't instrumental or vocal lessons, but group music activities for 4 to 5 year olds. In class, kids enter barefoot into music rooms without chairs or desks. The room has a piano and various percussion instruments of all sizes. Um, Guided by teachers, kids freely play instruments they like during lessons, games, and dances. This builds holistic music appreciation and turns learning into a lifestyle, laying foundations for future study. Hmm. Generally, after initiation and group classes, around age 6 is ideal for starting formal instrument training. So, why specifically at age 6? On one hand, physiologically speaking, kids around 6 have relatively mature vision and basic grasp of dots, lines, and planes. So, reading sheet music isn't too tough. Plus, their motor skills and coordination have developed, especially finger strength being sufficient for learning demands. On the other hand, psychologically, kids around 6 start developing self regulation and self control awareness. Simply put, they can sit still and follow the teacher's rules. So, starting formal music learning at age 6 is ideal. Next, parents can choose suitable instruments. It's tricky and varies case by case. Drawing from years of teaching, the author shares practical tips for parents. The child's interest is key when picking an instrument. Parents shouldn't impose their preferences. Instead, let the child listen. Expose them to music from different instruments. Visit music stores for hands-on experience, helping them grasp shapes, sounds, and more. This way, the child's decision will be more informed. Currently, Western instruments like piano and violin are popular among families. Actually, for young beginners, instruments like recorder, guitar, ukulele, guzheng, or erhu work great too. Parents must also objectively assess the child's physical development, e.g., wind instruments like brass require strong lungs or they risk injury. Thus, brass instruments aren't recommended for beginners. Similarly, while cellos look elegant, they're large relative to kids, requiring not just hand strength, but also sufficient arm, back, and muscle power. It's genuinely hard for kids to handle, so cello isn't ideal for beginners either. Generally, piano and violin suit beginners best, just needing reasonably large, strong hands, and they're easier to learn. Among traditional instruments, if the child has good hand coordination, try the yangqin. Clucked instruments like the guzheng are relatively simple too, perfect as starter instruments. Of course, parents must also carefully consider their financial capacity when selecting instruments. For young beginners, expensive doesn't mean better. Get a quality instrument matching their skill level from reputable brands with eco-friendly materials and reliable after-sales service. Chinas are an exception due to their size. The author suggests buying the best within your budget upfront to avoid future upgrades. After helping your child master an instrument, formal lessons can begin. Now, another challenge emerges for parents and kids: learning sheet music. Actually, sheet music isn't hard. It's all about how and when you learn it. With 5 lines, pitch names change as notes move positions, which is tough for young children with developing spatial perception. Reading notes requires spatial, hierarchical, and directional awareness. abilities typically developing around age 5. So parents shouldn't rush, maintain the right mindset about music reading. Generally, children can start learning sheet music around age 6. Here are practical sheet music games to try at home, making learning easy. For beginners, start with just one line. Add more as they master notes above and below it. This gradual approach eases children's struggles, making learning effortless. Many teachers use the building method, perfect for young learners. Imagine treble and bass clef ranges as high rise and low rise buildings. Let little notes climb buildings, singing each pitch name when reaching a floor. Kids learn through games and songs, mastering sheet music gradually. After mastering instruments and sheet music, formal lessons can truly begin. At this crucial stage, the author advises parents to remember their role. Be consultants, not taskmasters. Children aren't naturally disciplined. Occasional distraction during music practice is normal. Parents should neither over-interfere nor neglect. Manage scientifically. When starting lessons, parents often ask teachers, "Should I supervise practice?" The author says yes, but avoid excessive interference with beginners. Well, gentle reminders from parents boost learning effectiveness. Because foundational habits, wrist position, finger angles, posture, form during early practice, teachers usually meet just 1 to 2 weekly. Kids easily forget lessons at home. Parental reminders prevent bad habits from taking root. Additionally, parents should learn sheet music alongside kids. Adults grasp it faster even without background. Once parents master it, they can help correct mistakes during home practice. As children gain confidence, parents should gradually step back. But always remember, it's the child learning, not you. The goal is fostering independent practice. Don't hover with a ruler, constantly interrupting with demands. How long should daily practice be? Some teachers insist practice become a daily routine, so parents enforce rigid rules. You must practice 1 hour daily. Early pieces are simple, rarely needing that long. Kids feel practice drags endlessly. How many times must I play this? Over time, it feels like punishment, killing interest, causing many to quit. The author suggests replacing time limits with repetition goals. Practice 3 times daily, playing assigned pieces twice each. Gradually increase practice repetitions based on progress. Giving clear goals makes self-discipline easier. What if the child refuses to practice? Parents should understand every child goes through enthusiastic, adjustment, and resistant phases. Their duration is unpredictable. The author shares her 2 daughters' story. After 2 years of enthusiasm and adjustment, both entered resistance, constantly complaining, "I hate piano." She empathized with them while objectively analyzing causes. Possibly due to overpractice, she calmly negotiated and respected their wish to pause lessons for 3 months. For 3 months, they didn't touch piano, just listened to mom practicing or CDs. As expected, they grew restless without practice. After 3 months, both begged, "Mom, can you teach us piano again?" Thus, they smoothly overcame resistance and began anew. Thus, during regular learning, parents should observe carefully. If resistance appears, don't force it. Consult the teacher to reduce workload or offer small rewards. For example, consistent daily practice earns a desired toy after 2 weeks. Parents must mind their own habits. If everyone's watching TV or on phones, expecting practice is unrealistic. Building a good relationship with the music teacher is also crucial. Regardless of musical background, novice, amateur, or professional, parents should note. First, gain basic instrument knowledge. For example, if choosing erhu, what does it sound like? How does it differ from jinghu, banhu, or gaohu? How to hold the bow, press strings, etc. This way, parents can offer proper guidance when children start learning. Plus, with basic knowledge, parent-teacher communication flows better. No more confusion when the teacher introduces new concepts where parents feel completely lost. Second, parents must trust the teacher's professional expertise. During lessons, don't pretend to know what you don't or interfere excessively in student-teacher dynamics. For example, Some parents jump in with multiple explanations after each teacher's sentence, fearing their child won't understand. This overstepping may leave the child learning nothing, confused about whom to listen to, and irritates the teacher. Other parents panic hearing friends' kids have taken grading exams. They push teachers to rush exams, ignoring the child's natural learning pace. This irrational behavior only creates unnecessary obstacles in the musical journey. How should learning pace be set? When should grading exams happen? Teachers know best, trust their judgment. Third, parents must respect the teacher's effort. Value the dedication teachers invest, especially those guiding beginners, which is particularly challenging. Communicate objectively about progress and patiently await small improvements. As children grow, music learning stabilizes, but academic pressures intensify. Here, parents must help balance music studies with schoolwork and exams. Does learning an instrument actually hurt academic performance? This troubles many parents and students. The author responds bluntly. Perhaps only Chinese parents worry like this. In China, many kids start lessons young but quit by fifth or sixth grade. Simply put, preparing for secondary school entrance exams with Chinese, math, English, and tutoring leaves no time for music. It's a luxury. Thus, the hard-earned bond between children and music is abruptly severed by parents. Actually, suspending music education due to academic pressure is unwise. Healthy interests outside schoolwork don't hinder academic progress. Parents really shouldn't worry so much. The author's experience shows trusting children's decisions helps them manage time better, turning music into a refreshing counterpoint to demanding studies. Children ultimately thrive in both music and academics. All right, let's recap today's content. Every child's interests and talents are unique. From early childhood, parents should foster a musical home environment to nurture talent and ability. Around age 6, parents can help select instruments matching children's interests and capabilities. On the instrument learning journey, parents should consistently support and accompany their children. For example, learn about the instrument, study sheet music together, attend lessons, practice alongside them, monitor progress, and adjust approaches. Only then can children fully benefit from musical learning. Parents are children's best music teachers. That concludes our reading of this book. Reading notes are below the audio. We'll meet again in the next great book.